Hi everyone. Grab your comfy pillows. Grab your comfy pillows and let's get started on story time. Today's story is You, Me, and Empathy. Ooh, that's a big word, empathy. Let's learn what it means. When I was a baby, I was really small, while everyone else seemed incredibly tall. Here's a picture. But as I grew older, I started to see that people are people, just like me. How are you the same as your friends, your brothers and sisters? How are you the same as your friends or your siblings? Yeah. How are you different? Can you name two ways that you and your friends or your siblings are different? I loved hearing the ways that you're similar and different. It's important for us to know how we're unique and how we can all come together. Let's see the next page of our story. Thank you for sharing. Sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I'm worried and sometimes I'm mad. We all have feelings. You have them too. And sometimes I feel exactly just like you. Can you name something that makes you happy? That feels like it brings a happiness spot and a love spot. Can you name something that makes you feel sad? Or something that has happened that has made you feel sad? Thank you for sharing. It takes a lot of courage and strength to share when something makes you feel sad. So thank you for being brave right now. Can you name something that makes you worried or nervous or maybe anxious? For me, it's when I have to go somewhere new, I feel worried sometimes because I don't know what's going to happen there. Do you ever feel that way? Is there something that you do that makes you feel worried sometimes? Yeah, that's a real feeling. It's important for us to know what things or places or words make us feel nervous or worried. And my last question, what makes you feel mad? It could be frustrated, angry, or just red hot mad. Has there ever been a time that you felt really mad? Yeah? What happened? When was it? Yeah. I liked hearing how you've had all these different feelings and you've gotten through all of them. You've been very strong. It's important for us to know that sometimes we're happy or sad or worried or mad. So thank you for sharing your stories about your emotions. Thank you. When my mother was sick, she had a tummy bug. I knew that she needed a big, snuggly hug. I rubbed her back and patted her hand and said, "I'm so sorry. I do understand." My friend is comforting and checking in with their mother. For one time, I was sick with a terrible flu. I sneezed and I sputtered, but what could I do? My mother said softly, while patting my hand, "My dearest of dears, I do understand." That's when she gave me a big, snuggly hug, and I instantly knew I was humongously loved. That's loved a lot, a lot, a lot. My mother was kind and caring to me, exactly the same as how we should be. Have you ever been sick before? You have? Who helps you when you're sick? Who helps you feel better? Yeah, there's lots of things that family members can do to help us feel better. How does that family member help you feel better? Yeah. That must feel really, really good. Thank you for sharing. Let's see our next page. When my brother fell over and hurt his knee, he cried and cried and cried in front of me. I helped him up and said, "There, there," and sat him down on the kitchen chair. For one time, when I slipped and cut my knee, my brother was there to care for me. He held my hand and said, "There, there," and sat me down on the kitchen chair. So our friend was doing the same thing that his brother did to help take care of him and check in on him. Is there someone in your family or your friends that shows you kindness the same way our friend's brother showed him kindness when he got hurt? Do you have someone close to you that does the same thing? What's their name? Yeah. It's important that we not only have, but we know the people who give us love and kindness and help us feel better. One day in the park, a girl was pushed over, knocked down to the ground by a dog called Rover. Rover's running too fast. I knew his name because, you see, Rover the dog did the same thing to me. Rover! Silly dog. The poor little girl sat still on the ground. Not a sob, not a whimper, not one little sound. Then all of a sudden, she started to cry. Perhaps I could help. It was worth a try. "There, there," I said as I patted her arm. "Rover the dog doesn't mean any harm. He's just being playful, so try not to fuss. He just doesn't notice small people like us." Have you ever helped someone that was sad? You have? How did you help them? Oh, I love hearing how you chose to be compassionate and show empathy. You are looking out for someone else's feelings because you had felt the same thing before. It's very kind and loving. I'm sure that person felt really, really good. Thank you for sharing. One day at school, while having fun, I saw a boy alone in the sun. No one came over and said, "Let's play." I could see he was sad. He was not okay. So I left my friends and I ran over, and I asked if he'd like to play in the sand. His smile was huge, enormous and wide. It gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. When I started school, I too sat alone. I had no one to play with. I really wanted to go home. Then a girl called Abby ran over to me and asked me to play near the old oak tree. We gathered some acorns for finger hats and swung from the branches like acrobats. We played for ages, and from that day, friends forever, we always say. Do you have a really good friend? Yeah? How does that friend make you feel when you play with them or think about them? Yeah. It's a good, warm, fuzzy feeling, isn't it? Let's see the next story. Yesterday, at the big green slide, I saw a child run away and hide. "Come back," her adult said. "Just give it a try. The slide is not so terribly high," said her adult. So up she climbed to the very top. "Slide down," the adult said. "I'll help you to stop." But there she sat, and there she stayed, wanting to move, but too afraid. Have you ever tried to go on a slide and it was just too swirly or too high? Or maybe it was a tunnel slide and it was just too dark. Have you ever been afraid to go down a slide before? Me too. Let's see what our friend does. I knew just how this girl was feeling, worried and scared. Her head was reeling. For when I was little, I sat at the top, terrified that I wouldn't stop. "You can do this!" "Hi, Chuck." "You can do this," is what I said. "You're braver than you think. It's all in your head." The more and more brave things you do, the easier it becomes for you. Our friend is showing support and using kind words to help this friend feel brave. "I am really brave," the girl shouted, and whoosh! And before you knew it, she was on the ground. She did it, friends. Oh, good job. That must have felt really good. Okay, there's one more story I'd like to share. It's about a bully who never played fair. A bully is someone who treats people unkindly. They don't use kind words, and their hands and feet are not safe or gentle. They hurt people's hearts and bodies and feelings. This bully pushed children over, was mean and unkind. He made us feel sad, deep, deep down inside. So this bully, used their hands in an unsafe and not gentle way to push this person over. They felt sad about it. But one day at school, I saw a strange thing. The bully was bullied and pushed off a swing. He was sad. He was crying as he walked away. So I followed him and I asked him, "Are you okay?" His eyes were watery and his nose was red. He looked at me And these are the words the bully said. I was mean to the other kids. That just wasn't right. I know how they feel now. I've had a big fright. Kind and caring is how we should be. I know this because another bully bullied me. So the bully that had pushed a friend over was treated the same way he treated other people. And that didn't feel good in his heart or his body or his mind. And he learned from those feelings that he should be kind and caring and gentle. Sometimes it takes feeling something that doesn't feel good to learn what to do better next time and what not to do. Our bully learned from feeling what other people were feeling, that choosing kindness, safety, and compassion is the right way to treat people. As I'm growing taller each day, I'm learning so much in so many ways. I'm learning that we should try to be kind, helpful, and caring all the time. Our world is so special. We all need to care about one another and the earth we share. People together from far and wide, we're all on this planet. We're on the same side. So when someone's hurting or worried or sad, remember those feelings I'm sure you've had. Say kindly with care, I understand, I do, because sometimes I feel exactly just like you. His friend had fallen, and they got a boo-boo on their knee. They have a little cut. And our friend from the beginning of the story is helping them out. The end. There's a lot of good information in here for adults to look at if they would like to. I'm going to link the resources and the author's website down below for the adults. The kids don't need to look at them. Okay, friends, let's do a compassion breath. It's a lot like our loving kindness breath, but it's just one. And we're sending it to ourselves, to remind ourselves to treat people with gentle hands and gentle words and compassion. Place both hands on your heart. Take a deep breath in and breathe in a lot of compassion for yourself. And breathe out compassion for others. Thank you for reading with me today. I hope next time you see someone who's hurting or sad or worried or nervous, that you check in on them and show them empathy and compassion. Bye, everyone.